Hey everyone, it has been a minute since we talked about managing your Valorant finances and the power of NFTs, also known as noob-friendly tactics. In that time, the crypto Valorant market has collapsed as jet coin enthusiasts have lost nearly all of their market share to the French competition.
Let's see how Prod's doing.
Chamber has forked the meta, and many of the tactics surrounding the agent have allowed a new wave of investors to find some simple but innovative strategies. Remember, Valorant chain technology is all about overcoming the obsolete systems that give teams with more money their expected advantage. Before we hop into our first example, I have to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, Valorant Tracker, which is another great way to get an advantage over the competition. Valorant Tracker lets you keep an eye on your statistics as a player so you can see improvement, as well as giving you insight into which weapons and maps you're having success with. Are you secretly an eco demon with the Frenzy or a classic? Do you absolutely own with Chamber, or do you have a specific map that you're particularly strong on? Well, by grabbing Valorant Tracker from the link below, you can find out today and take your game to the next level. Our first NFT concept is so simple that even your silver lobby should be able to understand. Classy French man, very good. But why has Chamber's effect on the economy been so strong? Pro teams quickly grasped the power of having essentially a guardian on every single round, and this made a clear shift in their approach to pistol rounds and other low buys. Because Headhunter can one-shot anybody at any range, it allows Chamber to take ranged fights against rifles on equal footing. But you already knew that. Even in a round with 5 pistols against 5 Vandals, a single headshot can suddenly spin what should be a comfortable round into absolute chaos. Chamber is always one shot away from stealing a rifle, and suddenly the other team is now down a player and almost equalized in terms of firepower. Because of this, you'll see teams that really understand this concept actively seek out engagements with their Chamber leading the way, or try to set him up with some utility to take that first duel. After all, when you're really poor, you have to take whatever advantages are available to you. And this becomes even more apparent when somebody like Ye on Optic has a fully charged ultimate heading into a round. In fact, some of the best teams in the world actively save tour de force to specifically target and try to steal these low buy rounds. Watch how Optic plays this one against DRX with their Chamber ultimate and a saved Phantom from the previous round. They start the round by challenging for both Showers and B Long, and you'll notice that it's the two strong weapons that are taking the lead in this positioning battle. Now, DRX is a good team, and they understand that Optic has a couple of dangerous weapons, so they use a boombot through Showers to try and get some information. Optic responds by having one of their players with a Frenzy kill the boombot, which further disguises where the Operator and the Phantom are on the map. They then fully rotate to the most powerful spot on the map, which is Ye's Operator, and are rewarded when Ye finds an op duel to open up the round. Now DRX are in trouble because despite their better weapons, they have to worry about players who were outside of Showers, but they also now really have to reinforce the B site. We can see that Optic walks into position here to avoid giving DRX any extra time to read what is happening in the round and make a heavy rotation to the B site. After a heavy utility exchange, Optic once again sets up their attack with Ye's Operator and crashes with the Phantom leading the way onto the site. And Ye finds 2 more kills, which puts DRX in a terrible situation, now in a 2 versus 3 retake against fully armed opponents. Optic ends up fairly easily winning a round where they came into it with thousands and thousands less credits and utility invested. This concept of having your most dangerous player take the duels is not a new concept in Valorant either. Back in the Jet meta, it was often Bladestorm that would equalize and steal these eco rounds away in a similar capacity. However, Chamber's dominance has really cemented just how powerful a free weapon can be. This next example shows off a ton of my favorite noob-friendly tactics that could be lifted straight out of a bronze game in terms of their complexity. Liquid starts the round on a bonus buy with weaker weapons and immediately employs the run it down mid strat to try and force the attackers into closer range engagements. Liquid is also hoping to maybe overwhelm a couple of players with rifles with a large numbers advantage. Even though Liquid brings 5 players to the fight and times their swings relatively well, the better weapons win out, and Liquid has to retreat down 3v4. Here's where phase 2 of the strategy kicks in, because Liquid immediately stacks all 3 players in the very back of B site and concedes the rest of the map, giving M3C a completely free plant on the A site and nearly full map control. But why would they do this? In low-level Valorant, you often see massive over-rotations as players get bored of holding an angle or blindly run towards the first bit of action that they can see. In a lot of cases, giving up map control and creating holes in your defense is a terrible play. However, Liquid recognizes that they have shown the location of all 3 of their remaining players to M3C. The last known locations for Omen and KO were in the A tree and cat area, and Fade was last seen in B market. Liquid realizes that M3C can probably do basic math and will realize that 1 is less than 2, and then make the entirely logical leap that 4 versus 1 is better odds than 4 versus 2. M3C does make that logical choice and groups up outside of B. Now watch as Liquid lets Fade get scanned by the KO knife to further sell the idea that she is here alone. Soulcast then swings into the oncoming attackers and gets some decent damage onto Chronicle before dying. This play of swinging into a 1v4 fight is another thing that you might often see the average gold Reyna make in like every single round. But in this particular case, it has the desired effect of getting information about M3C's positions and also giving them a false sense of confidence that the site is clear. As M3C drops onto the site, we can see that they are still aware that some Liquid players could be here, but we can also see that their spacing and timing is pretty lazy as they fully expect to easily win this round now. Instead of carefully clearing the site as a team, the 2 low HP players take the first 2 fights 1 versus 1 and are low enough to get one-tapped by a ghost. Liquid's trap then springs as M3C tries to get aggressive on the lone pistol player, only to eat a flash and a hail of Spectre bullets in return. This is the perfect example of how to bait your teammates correctly to win what should have been an impossible round. The Valorant economy is extremely volatile, and it has a massive effect on the outcome of a game. So focusing on stealing away a round or 2 can really send your win rate to the moon. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.